What's happening, people? I hope you're all well. So Lukasz Rozanski knocks out Alen Babić in the first round. Let's talk about it. Alen Babić had a new trainer in this fight, and this trainer in the build up to the fight was talking about being more technical and trying to tame the beast. He was talking about trying to tame the beast, and Alen Babić, he'd be on the pads going "Rrr," and then the trainer would say no, just be calm. That does not suit Alen Babić at all. And if that was going to suit Alen Babić, then that would need to be something that's implemented over time. Not in a world title fight against an opponent who, that's not the type of opponent really to try something new against. So Lukasz Rozanski and Alen Babić are actually very similar with regards to their normal styles. Alen Babić likes to come forward swinging with reckless abandon. And then on the other hand, you got Lukasz Rozanski, who, although a bit more measured and a bit more precise and a bit more deliberate, also likes to swing in those big hooks and be very aggressive from the first bell. If you got someone who likes to apply relentless pressure, I mean, unless you're in the gym, typically speaking, a pressure fighter is not the type of fighter to try new things against. You want to try something new against a fighter who's, going to give you time and space. Someone like Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua likes time and space to get his work off. But then on the other hand, that can benefit an opponent because that means they also have time and space. Anyway, so Alen Babić went into the ring and he looked caught in between styles. Sometimes he's on the back foot, sometimes he was swinging, sometimes, he was jabbing. Lukasz Rozanski knew exactly what he wanted to do in there. He wanted to go in there and hurt Alen Babić. He wanted to get on that front foot immediately and start swinging big hooks. And, he did throw a couple of jabs, but the main prerogative for Rozanski was to swing big hooks and be aggressive and get on that front foot. Alen Babić looked caught in between styles. He looked like he didn't know whether he wanted to swing, he didn't know whether he wanted to box, he didn't know whether he wanted to, get a jab out there and get on his toes. And that was really the downfall, because he didn't have a definitive style, whereas Rozanski knew what he wanted to do. So the bell goes, Rozanski gets on that front foot, backs Alen Babić up against the ropes. And Alen Babić has never been a particularly strong guy, so he was getting backed up to the ropes quite easily. And, Lukasz Rozanski was just applying that pressure, and Alen Babić felt one of those left hooks, I think, held on, and then after that, held on, and then shortly after that he was down, and then he gets back up, and then Rozanski unloads on him. The ref stops it shortly after, which I think was a little bit premature perhaps, but, it is what it is, because I think that Alen Babić was going to lose that fight. So had Alen Babić got on that front foot and did what he normally does, he could have, you never know, he could have hurt Rozanski. Rozanski was down in his last fight against Spilka, and Rozanski can be hurt. He was down in the first round against Spilka. He was open, leaving openings for counters against Babić there. He was open himself, but Alen Babić wanted to try a new style, and I don't think it really worked. Plus, Alen Babic's energy in this fight just seemed a little bit different to his normal fights. And then when you couple that with the fact that Eddie Hearn did not seem too invested in this fight, didn't want to try and win the purse bid, it's very possible that something's happened in sparring. If you think about it, he was hurt against Spilmont. He was down against that other fighter in his last fight. I can't remember when that was. There seemed to be a big gap between his last fight when he was down in the first round and hurt, in the fight, throughout the fight. And then Eddie Hearn doesn't make an effort to win that purse bid, and then Alen Babić goes in there and gets knocked out in the first round. Has Eddie Hearn heard something's been happening in sparring? Alen Babić perhaps been hurt in sparring, wear and tear, because he apparently likes to have wars in sparring, likes to go in the ring and have wars. So has he aged? Has Eddie Hearn heard about Alen Babić appearing weaker? Eddie Hearn seemed to be distancing himself from Alen Babić. Is there a reason for that? and then because subsequently Alen Babić went in there and got knocked out in the first round. I don't know. I'm asking the question. So, I mean, from here, you know, the Bridgerweight title has been won by Rozanski. So Alen Babić, where does he go from here? Who knows? I don't think Eddie Hearn. Don't expect Eddie Hearn to be putting him on shows anymore. Could be wrong. I think it's going to be hard for Alen Babić to come back from this. I do. I think it's going to be hard for Alen Babić to come back from this. I really do. Rozanski, he can fight some fights now. I think Rozanski is the type of fighter. He's 37, so he's going to have to get a move on. Rozanski can get involved in some good scraps. I actually think Rozanski could give someone like Anthony Joshua a lot of trouble. I'm not saying he'd beat Anthony Joshua, but he's the type of fighter where if you're not on your A game, if you're not mentally there, he's going to give you some trouble, because he's going to go in there and he's going to come for you. He did that against Agono, he did that against even Spilko, he's done that against Babić. So interesting to see where Rozanski goes from here. I think he's going to see a ceiling, but I think that he could actually spring an upset on people as well. The type of fighter where, you know, he's that type of guy who could spring an upset. Anyway, what did you make of the fight? What did you make of the action? Where does Babić go from here? Where does Rozanski go from here? Who would you like to see Rozanski in with next? Let me know. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, hit the notification bell so you get a notification when I make a new video, and I'll see you on the next video.
If you like crime and behavioural analysis, subscribe to JH Crime for content covering crime, police interrogations, and analysis of the human psyche. So subscribe to JH Crime. The link is in the description.